opportunities in areas identified by Rotary International. The timeline for that was put in the last minutes with that, and the Service Committee will be making recommendations to the board for distribution of these funds, and I think that's in our February board meeting. And finally, last but not least, we also set aside the balance, or about $14,000, which is going to go towards the Gateway Rotary Legacy project. We have not yet identified this project. It's still something that I think the board is going to be working on in the next couple of months. Certainly looking forward to anyone's thoughts on that, what we can do, but really what that grand item might be, something that you see that represents Gateway in our community. So the last 3 years, I think the first year we set aside $3,500, second side about $15,000, and $14,000 this year. So on a couple other items real quick. 3 areas of focus in 2019-20, a year that I presented at the club's annual statement at the beginning, something that's addressed every board meeting. So 1, membership engagement, 2, community awareness, and 3, brand Rotary regionally. So under membership engagement, we discussed the expansion of committees and improved use of Club Runner. We want each and every one of you to be in a committee and have access to Club Runner. So that's something that we're going to continue to stress here. And I think really all the committee chairs have done a fantastic job of really developing that out, getting assistant chairs and having some good meetings. So we're going to keep expanding that program. Increase community awareness. Gateway Rotary is a finalist for the Business Award for Community Service Award for the Lacey South Sound Chamber of Commerce. Yes! This is a great way for us to discuss the importance that Gateway has and how much of an impact we have in our local community. And finally, brand Rotary regionally. We're going to continue to work with our fellow regional clubs on such items as the district conference and the Paul Harris dinner. Finally, Service Committee and Youth Services were the only reports that were issued at the meeting. Youth Services is working on Interact Club and fundraiser with Charlie Safari, and the board is hoping we can have increased interactions with the Interact Club, especially during our service projects. And this is something I really want to emphasize. We get to see them, those of you who came down to the Lacey Food Bank, the tree planting program we had. You get to meet some of these kids. These are our kids. So I think this is something we don't get to see them here because of the rules of being in a bar in the morning. But we want to see how other ways that we can interact with kids. So that's going to with these kids because they are our Interact Club. So with that said, I'm going to hand the stage back over to our Vice President. Oh, Madeline's waving for some reason.
Len, I believe we have another Rotary member, visiting Rotary member. And I don't know his name, but he just walked in, he has a Rotary shirt on, so here he is.
Okay, well welcome. Who are you?
That would be the other Jerry.
Okay, well welcome, thank you. Let's hear it for Jerry. And with that said, I'm going to hand the stage over to our Vice President, who's going to talk about the program. Let's hear it for Amanda Bay.
Hey, Amanda Bay.
Good morning. So this morning it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker. It is Dr. Heynderickx, President of St. Martin's University. He has worked in Catholic higher education for over 40 years. Prior to St. Martin's, Dr. Heynderickx oversaw the University of San Diego's Finance and Administration Division and spent 27 years at the University of Portland, ultimately serving as its CFO. He was an appointed commissioner to the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities, is a board member at the Olympia Federal Savings, the Independent Colleges of Washington, the Association of Washington Businesses, Great Northwest Athletic Conferences, Washington Higher Education Facilities Authority, and the Fulcrum Foundation. He probably does more too, but there's not enough paper. So please help me in welcoming Dr. Heynderickx.
Yay!
Thank you, Amanda. This is my favorite Rotary Club. Anyone that is committed to get up here at 7 o'clock in the morning and go to a bar, this is great. I really commend you for what you do here at Rotary. Some of you know that I was a Rotarian in Portland at a small club like this. And I served there for 10 years. I think I served in every position at least twice as part of that. And so Paul Harris, fellows, no surprise to me. I know what that's all about. I know how that works. So again, kudos to all of you for being Rotarians and helping the community. I'm very excited about what I hear about your Interact Club. It seems to me, I spoke to you just a few weeks ago, but I am told it was a year ago, last December. And so I'm excited to be back here again to share some updates with you. Maybe we'll get some time for some more questions. First of all, I always like to ask who is alumni in the audience, if they raise their hand. Great, we have a good group, a good showing of you. I hope you're following some of the updates on the university and the newsletters and other ways that we try to keep you informed of what's happening on campus. Last year when I was here, I was talking about the excitement of the new science building. We're just finishing this 30,000 square foot building. We had our shakedown cruise this semester. Our science faculty, math faculty moved in. It's been great. They love the building. It's a little different because they used to all be in Old Main along with all of us, and now they seem to be a little bit distant being in their own building. But it's been a wonderful addition. Part of that move allowed us to take the old science labs and remodel them for nursing labs. And let me talk to you a moment about that. We had 2 donors in this community step forward with $3.5 million and said, go to it and blow out that old space, completely redo it for nursing. And that's what we're in the process right now. We started an RN to BSN program. So in other words, about 5 years ago, in other words, we took associate degree prepared nurses from the community colleges primarily, who wanted to continue their education and pick up a bachelor's degree. We've been doing that about 5 years. We've been able to cement solid relationships with Providence, Capital Medical Center, Panorama, clinics in the area that have a nursing need, and in particular if they have a focus on baccalaureate prepared nurses. So we've been working with them about potential clinical placements of 4-year students. And we launched that this fall. And I'm excited to tell you, we have 59 students in the program beginning this fall semester. We are allowed by the Nursing Commission to graduate 48 a year. And what's interesting, we're already gauging interest in this program by applications for next fall. And I believe, looking at the numbers, we have nearly 400 applications already from qualified students for 50 openings next fall. So we talk about a nursing shortage everywhere and in this community, but there is a great deal of interest by prospective students for this for a baccalaureate program. So I'm excited about that because that to me, many of these graduates will remain locally. And I hope that all of you, when you need health care, that you'll see a St. Martin's University pin on a nurse and understand that this is a homegrown product and someone that you can trust and knows our community. So I'm very excited about that and what we're able to do. Again, the beauty of this community coming together and contributing, we raised over 100% of what we needed for that science building. Over $10 million was raised by generosity of individuals and organizations. Has allowed us not only to refocus on the STEM programs, but also in nursing in particular, to be able to offer them. We could not do that without this new science building. So that to me is a great step forward, and I'm pleased to announce that since we last spoke, that it's all come to fruition, that we're moving forward. As part of this also, what's interesting, we pulled down our first 7-figure grant from the federal government. So we have our HRSA grant right now that our nursing, our social work, and our psychology departments put together in over $1.2 million for 3 years to help fight the opioid crisis. And so this is actually going to put master's prepared students into the community, paid stipends for internships for $25 a year that will coordinate with clinics and hospitals in the area as they work with people who are addicted to opioids. And to me, this is a great step forward. We're getting a lot of attention. I got to tell you, there's very few grants we've received where I have our federal representative and our federal senator call and say, what are you doing there? And how did you get this grant? And how is it going to help the community? And I said, it's great to be able to boast about what we're doing at St. Martin's and be able to say, hey, this is a significant grant that we hope has great application in many other communities. So we're leading the way in that as well. I want you to take a look at some things on the tables that we handed out. We're very excited about some recent accolades, and all of these were received within the last 10 months. And I'm particularly proud of the fact we did not apply for any of these. These came over the transom, as I would call it, by national organizations that have recognized us for what we are doing. But to be listed as one of the top 50 most transformative colleges in the nation is amazing. And again, that's what we strive to do. We strive to change lives at our university, of taking people who have dreams and aspirations and helping them fulfill them. I'm very excited about the ROI, return on investment, that we do phenomenally well in helping make education affordable, one of the lowest student loan debts in the nation, as well as in the state of Washington, that we're considered one of the best values. And of course, this military-friendly accolade, the two of them, the fact that we are a Purple Heart University and that we've been recognized as one of the top 10 for our category of universities for helping serve the military. That to me is great. I talked to you about the Microsoft program we have. We have this certificate program where we help transitioning military. Now we've extended that to veterans as well. Help them pick up a software certificate, software systems. These are courses they take, and if they continue taking them, they can complete a Bachelor of Computer Science. We are graduating from that certificate program, 120 a year. They are being snapped up. We have a 100% placement rate of the graduates with Microsoft, Amazon, the other high-tech employers in the area. They pay from $70,000. I heard one of our graduates just recently pulled down an offer of $150,000 in Los Angeles with a high-tech firm. These are great transitioning programs. Microsoft has said, hey, how can you grow that to 250 to 400 graduates a year? We have a great need. So right now we're exploring how we can ramp up to actually grow that program, and we're space constricted. So we are talking to local developers about what space is available for us to take this program. But to me, it's part of one of the hallmarks of what we do. There is a new one that's not on this list that we received just recently. We recognized our teaching program as one of the best value teacher prep master's program in the nation. So we're doing, we have a small education program. We have a 100% placement rate of graduates into the classroom as teachers. And we're extremely proud of that. I know superintendents and principals who automatically snap up our graduates. They will have a practicum, an internship to learn teaching skills at their schools, and they're automatically offered jobs. To me, this is great. We continue to work. How do we keep this affordable? Again, giving back to the community. Our graduates like to stay locally. Most of them are coming locally. They want good careers. We're able to help make that possible as a university. Let me talk to you about a new program we're offering, so that it may be of some interest to one or two of you in this room, and that is we've been just authorized to begin our first PhD program, and it's in leadership. So if you've ever aspired to have doctor as part of your name, here's an opportunity to continue your education and consider something different in leadership. I know that we've had, over the last year, 65 to 70 individuals in the community step up and say, I really want to take that program if you offer it. So we're looking at building a cohort, potentially to begin this coming summer. So our first foray into a doctorate program, and we're interested in, and we want to do it right, that we are interested in building that cohort to make it happen. Another interesting accolade, some of you know that we're not just a STEM university, that we're also into the arts. And we have a wonderful choir program. We did a Christmas Under the Canopy event last week, but we're doing periodic events. We're building a band. We've worked with the local bands as well to make it possible. I'm excited to tell you that our choir has been invited to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City next November. And that is amazing. And so we're trying to figure out how to make it happen. and make it, because that's a really an unusual opportunity. I would love to see our students be in New York City at Carnegie as part of that. It is our 125th year next year. We begin to launch that in January for the entire year. Alumni and others will have a number of events on our campus recognizing this milestone of 125 years, but also focusing on the next 125. And again, staying true to our roots. How do we help this community? How do we help grow the community? How do we make certain that we're producing graduates that are in need by this community? So we focus and continue to fine tune our programs as we move forward. Let me also remind you that the St. Martin's Food and Wine Festival is scheduled this year for April 4th, and you're going to be hearing more about it. It's been rebranded, and so it's going to be a little different theme this year, but for those of you that have faithfully followed this event for the last 30 years or more, let me tell you that it's continuing on, a great tradition. I also want to say that I am so proud of this community. We had our gala event. We have a celebrity chef format, as you probably know, and our celebrity chef this year was Carla Hall. We raised $1.4 million for student scholarships. Isn't amazing? That is just, I want to thank all of you. There are so many in this community that give and participate, and I love, because we have about probably an 80% rate that I see 80% of the crowd that's at the gala and other events in this community. And these individuals, they give and give and give. We truly are part of a great giving community. Many nonprofits are being helped by all of you in this community. And it's great at the level that they're giving, and I know it's risen dramatically the last few years. So that's wonderful. I want to thank, I know as Rotarians you're very involved in many different organizations, and that's one of the great attributes of an organization like Rotary, is getting you into the community, having you understand the needs of the community, and stepping forward and helping in any way that you can. Let me end there again by thanking you, but also say, if you have questions now, I'd be glad to address one or two for the remaining time I have left. Doug.
So what's next on the capital facility side for the campus? What's next?
Well, we're beginning a strategic plan visioning process, and we are looking at potentially a major comprehensive campaign for the university. The next building I would love to see is a performing arts center. And it's not to replace the Washington Center or the Menard Center. It's really to provide something small. That we need something better in our campus for band and choir. It would be flexible, programmable space. We still want to be able to put the theater occasionally downtown and have it there, because I think that's a great venue. We want to use some of the other venues. So actually, it's really a non-STEM focus to say, well, let's build this other area of our campus. Other questions?
That's it.
That's it.
No, that's it.
Well, Nick tells us not all the time.
All right, let's hear it for Dr. Heynderickx. As part of Pleasant Glade Elementary School's PI program that I was talking about earlier, Dr. Heynderickx has signed this book. And I was trying to think of, I was going through and sorting different things out, something about like the squirrels and this. I was like, I can't figure out anything I can do. And then all the buildings you've been putting up, all the architecture you've done, and education that you do. This is Iggy Peck Architect. And that's the book that Dr. Heynderickx has signed, and again will be donated over to Pleasant Glade Elementary School. So we'll just do a quick picture, and yeah, great. Thank you. All right. All right. With that, we're going to move into announcements, and first up is going to be Grace Kendall. So let's hear it for Grace.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be back. Couple of things. First of all, the vocational committee will be meeting for a monthly meeting right after today's club meeting. Next week, we're gonna be doing some photos, and they're just gonna be headshots. We're going to have something that we put up, against the backdrop, and we're just gonna take these here with a camera. I am so sorry, we just can't get a whole bunch of, I can't seem to coordinate to get a professional photographer to come. So all we need is a real headshot so we can put on the advertising that we're gonna start doing in January on the screen prior to the meeting beginning. We've also gone out and we've categorized everybody in their classifications, and we need to verify your classifications. I have those. If everyone would check in with me, email me or something, just so I can check off and I can verify what classification that you're in, so that we can get that there all squared away. Thank you.
And I just want to piggyback and just throw kudos out to Grace and the vocation committee. Really, where this is going, a lot of the direction on this is big picture. One, trying to focus your business. There's a lot of folks here, you've got business, you've got activities going on, and this kind of ties in with the Think Rotary that we do at the beginning. We really want to make sure that at the end of the day that we're all trying to think, well, if I got to go out and I've got to get somebody to do X, Y, Z type of business, hopefully I'm thinking of a Rotarian first, and then you can start seeing, well, who does what here as part of what we do here in our community. The other part of it is we want to get a kind of a data file so that you can do a search. If you're saying, well, I really want to look at office furniture and I'm trying to figure out what type of office furniture I want to get, and you're like, well, I'm just going to go over to IKEA because that's probably the best thing to do, and then you forget maybe Lowell Gordon in the back has creative office. It would be some type of drop down that you could identify a Rotarian that you might be able to do business or do work with. So that's the goal. And kudos to the vocation committee. Let's hear it for Grace Kendall one more time. Great job. So do we have any other committee announcements? It's the only one that I had. Any other committee announcements?
Hey, Lynn.
Yes.
What did you do at our social on last Wednesday? What did you say? I officially...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, I will make that announcement right now. We have a new committee, and that committee is the social committee.
Yeah!
So if you have interest in being a part of the social committee, please see Crystal. Crystal, raise your hand. Crystal's on the committee, and she's going to be heading that out. And yeah, great job that you guys are doing. One, connecting what we're trying to do in the community, and also setting up times that we can have beverages. Okay.
Can I do that?
Yes. Well, we have an announcement after all. Let's hear it from Megan.
I just want to tack on to what Sylvia said earlier. Thank you all who came to last week's social. I wanted to share that our club donated a total of 164 food drive items to Pleasant Glade. And Corinne and Matt and I took the donations plus the Giving Tree gifts to Pleasant Glade on Friday, and they said that with Gateway's help, they surpassed their goal of getting, I think it was 40 large boxes of food donations. So we really helped Pleasant Glade out a lot, and so they super appreciate it, and they're going to be sending us photos of their giant, mass of donations, and I've got a few photos from their social that I'll upload to Club Runner as well, so we can get that out, and you can see how awesome it was. Thank you.
Nice. It was definitely a fun time and a great event. Good job for both the service committee, social committee, and everybody who put that together, so thank you. Other announcements that I've got real quick, I'm going to continue. I sent out an email yesterday. I'm sure you guys all studied it and looked it over diligently. But the Paul Harris dinner will be held on my daughter's birthday on March 19th at Hotel RL. And we still have early bird and new Rotarian pricing available. I put the link down, paulharrisdinner.com. Really want to make sure we've got a fun group out there to show the Gateway flag for the region. And second, again, start thinking about that district conference. It's not on Mother's Day, May 14th through 16th this year in Victoria, BC. And I really want to make sure we got a good group there as well. It's a fantastic, it's a fun time, bond with other Rotarians. For those new members, great time to learn more about Rotary. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, district conference, that's for like, you know, fancy people that do a lot of stuff like Martin McElliott or somebody like that. Well, it could be for you. And hopefully you're thinking about what you can do and learn a lot about what's happening in Rotary. So I really hope that you can partake in that. And once again, the actual payment for attending the conference is paid for by the club. You get reimbursed for that. Travel, food, and everything else, it's on you. But the actual amount that you're paying to attend the conference, or the sign-up fee, whatever it's called, that'll be reimbursed by the club. All right, with that said, we're going to move into our, no, not yet. So one more thing. Yes, Martin.
I do have an announcement.
Okay.
Make an announcement.
Do you want to do it during the pass around, or is this something? All right, Martin's going to make it out. Let's hear from Martin. Does everybody like beer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wine?
Beer.
You have a keg in your car?
How about wine?
Yeah.
You like beer and wine? Okay. Do you like to get together and party?
Not with those physical movements.
Oh, sorry. That was the best I could do for you, Jerry. So, in January, our, what is it called?
Fireside Social.
Fireside Social is going to be at Grace Kendall's building, Fast Science.
Wow.
But we're going to be kind of doing a new thing. So, more to come, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really interactive. Yes, Grace, go ahead, shout it out. Come on.
This is a vocational fireside. This year is to help to promote the business collaboration, to get to know each other, and to get to know each other's businesses. And we just volunteered to be the first ones.
All right.
We're the guinea pigs.
We're guinea pigs.
But we're going to have alcohol, so it'll be really easy on everybody, right?
Anesthetized guinea pigs, yeah.
I believe it's January the 9th. Is that correct? January the 9th?
Thursday,
Yes.
January 9th.
Thursday, January 9th. So, you're going to hear more about that as we get closer to that day. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Yay, Martin.
Awesome. We have a great example where the social committee, the new social committee, and the vocation committee are coming together, and I hope that's something that the club can support. All right, with that said, we're going to move to our, we're not saying goodbye yet, because we got classification talk, and today we've got Mike. Mike, let's hear it from Mike, everybody.
It's mic number 13, just for clarification. All right, well, good morning, Gateway Rotary.
Good morning.
I am here to talk to you about plumbing first thing in the morning, and I've got to make that fun. So, first of all, y'all owe me about $300 to get a plumber at 7 o'clock in the morning. So a little bit about the company. You guys got some literature in front of you. It all says A Plumbing Doctor, and that is the name of the company. The name of the company started as A Plumbing Doctor. We went to trademark the name and discovered a few conflicts with it, and so we did have to change the name a little bit, and that's where we came up with APD, Plumbing and Mechanical. That should get us through the trademarking process with no conflicts. There apparently is a plumbing doctor in California. And so to not be confused with them, we had to get that straightened out. So, that being said, one of the questions that I get asked pretty frequently, and I think it has to do with the fact that I look like I'm 12, is, do I even know what I'm doing, or what is it that I know how to do? And that has been something that, despite putting some facial hair on my face, it has not helped me to look much older. I've actually been doing this for 16 years. Started doing this, 16 years. Yes, I look like I'm 12. Yes, I really have got 16 years of experience. I started doing this, I was chosen by Rotary between my junior and sophomore year, or junior and senior year, to enter into their apprenticeship program. And I thought, well, this was great. I'll go ahead and I'll take on their apprenticeship program through summer, and then when senior year comes around, I'll cut back to part-time, get my scholarship, and get my diploma, and then, I'll go back to work for them full-time. And they says, oh no, you're coming to work full-time for us. We don't care if you've got a high school diploma or not. And I was the first one in my family that was actually going to stick with high school long enough to get a diploma, and nobody else had done that. And so I thought, no, I'm gonna stick it out, and I'm gonna stay with her. And I finished school and I got my diploma. And I immediately started working for Rotary. The very next day, we hadn't even done a graduation walk. And so, literally from the time that I graduated high school, I have been a plumber. I've stuck with the trade. That was in 2004. I watched the economic crash in 2007. Continued to stay with the trade. At the time, I was the youngest plumber in the career. 16 years later, I'm still the youngest plumber in the career. I have literally watched half of my colleagues retire or get hurt, leave the trade, which has left a little bit of a deficiency for plumbers. And so we're constantly running around, scrambling, trying to save the world. Frequently I leave my cape at home because it gets stuck in the crawl space. So a little bit about the company, a little bit about what we do. We've got a full-time receptionist, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So when you call us, you're not going to leave a message. You can hope to get an answer back. I'm actually the least experienced in our company with 16 years. Our receptionist has actually got 17 years doing what she does, is dispatching and scheduling and paperwork, far better than I ever could be at that. Heather here takes care of all of our important documents with the state. Her background with the Attorney General's office, she's really good, really thorough and detailed with that. Up until earlier this week, we did have a full-time plumber, but he outgrew his britches and couldn't temper tantrum. So we're looking for another plumber again. So if you guys know of anybody who is looking for work, or maybe you know somebody who's, they're a licensed plumber, they're working on the side, the state's getting closer, they're definitely watching that. So more and more plumbers are getting in trouble for bootlegging and running on the side. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. That's really big. So a little bit more about the history, some of the things that we do. Did you know that plumbers do gas lines? A lot of people didn't know plumbers do gas lines. Your gas company does not install gas lines anymore. They stopped doing that about 10 years ago. So us plumbers do gas lines. We are gas certified. I do filtration systems for your wells. I do well repairs. I do minor septic repairs. I do new construction. I do service. I do remodel. I do commercial. I do industrial. I do residential. I do hydronics. When you think of a plumber, there's a little bit of confusion. Some people think of Mario and Luigi. We do more than just play video games all day. And this time of year, we don't break into your home and we don't steal your Christmas gifts, and we're better than just okay plumbing. So Home Alone, Mario Brothers, those two kind of got plumbers a little bit of a bad name. Despite the fact that we do charge a lot of money, part of the reason why we charge a lot of money is because of the amount of time that you have to have in the trade. A little statistic for you, most people stay in their career between 3 and 5 years. After 3 or 5 years, they get bored and they leave the career. So just to get your basic residential license, you must have a minimum of 6,000 hours of approved L&I hours before you can even take the test. And so a dedicated individual who stays dedicated to getting those hours to make sure that they get turned in every single year to L&I, if they're dedicated, they can do it in about 6 years. When you compare that to the average of 3 to 5 years to be in a career, before you actually make a substantial plumbing wage, you've got to dedicate yourself longer than the average is going to dedicate themselves to a career. Makes for a shortage of plumbers as well. That's just to get your basic residential license, let alone if you want to get any other special certifications. I have been factory trained and certified on every major manufactured tankless water heater there is. That's quite a bit. That's a lot of taking apart, that's a lot of schooling, that's a lot of certification. Again, 16 years. I start to get bored with what I do. There are 3 rules of plumbing. Everybody knows them. Who wants to tell? Who's got the first one? Come on, Troy.
Flush.
Come on.
Flush.
Okay.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
There's one in every room. I'm not getting hear it. 3 rules of plumbing. Hoop rolls downhill. Don't bite your fingernails. Paydays on Friday. Those are all true. If you don't pay your guys on Friday, they will not show up on Monday.
Mike, how many doors have you kicked in?
Oh, how many doors have I kicked in? that is one that I love it when I get a kick in the door, and plumbers don't think of that as a plumber, but oftentimes we get a property manager or a building owner calls us and they've got a tenant and the tenant's not home, but something has gone awry inside of the tenant's unit and it is flooding the units downstairs and there is water coming out of the door. And of course, it's one of those tenants that decided to have a little privacy and changed all the door locks so the manager cannot get in. Well, the manager can't kick in the door, they're not allowed to, but the plumber can. So, every once in a while, probably every couple of years, I get to tell somebody to stand back, and I get to knock a door, clean off its hinges, and it's the greatest thing in the world. Then I have to actually go to work and, do something else. So it's a very short moment of glory, but it is certainly something that I do enjoy getting to do. Any other questions?
All right, let's hear it from Mike.
Who you gonna call?
Mike number 13. And I am going to say goodbye to our folks at home. Thank you for tuning in. It was great to be with you. And I'm going to hand the mic over to our one and only Sergeant at Arms. Let's hear it for Madeline